Hello everyone, how very good of you to join and welcome back to Anno 800. Once again, we continue right away with our glorious city with upgrading. That's right, we want to upgrade more artisans or more investors to magnets, more artisans and more engineers in total. So right now we can do all of this. We have the materials, so we can basically go crazy. The first thing is that we have way too many people over here that are still farmers. Now, I'm getting a bit negative on the farmers. That's okay. For a short time, right? We're gonna move them somewhere else. And in that case here, we don't really need a lot of farmers anymore, since most agricultural products are being imported with the docklands at this point. By the way, what I've noticed is, right, we don't have a shared workforce yet in the old world. We have it in the new world, we don't have it in the old world yet. That's a new one, I think. Now, regarding the population, I could, for example, make it a bit easier to push more people in, or my goal would be to get us a commute pier out. I think that's the safest way to push my population. Let's just go ahead with a bunch of more upgrades over here regarding workers. Once again, we have too many. And I really want to tone it down. Now, that's a whole bunch. Very good. We still have here towards my harbor area here. That's actually here fine for workers, right? Because this is close to the industry zone. So it makes sense to me to have lots of workers here. I don't need to push all of them to artisans. Down to 100 workers anyway. So gotta be careful here. Probably just here, right? That's fine. Regarding my workers... let's enable the local mail. This will just push me a bit over the edge. We could also enable the rum. But for that, I would like to wait until we have finalized the upgrading. Now, let's go ahead and push more people to magnets. I think these guys here. Oh, wait a second. We still even haven't unlocked the 4,000 requirement for investors. Oh, we have actually with the latest upgrades. Nice. So I don't need to worry about that anymore. So I can just go crazy with a bunch more upgrades to investors here especially. These guys don't have electricity. Nothing I can do about that really. Just gonna push here, here. And then we have a bunch. We still have 1,700 artisans. So these guys, this block, these blocks here, they don't have electricity. Oh, wait a second. What do they don't have? School, right? Actually, they have everything. We just upgraded them too recently. So that's my mistake. And there's more. I don't know why she's so persistent. I mean, we went with peace treaties quite often at this point. She still wants to threaten me. Yeah, that looks fine, right? And then we can have a bunch more upgrades here to artisans. And here, to artisans, I say to magnets. Let's have this whole block here upgraded to magnets. And this whole block here. Alright, so that's a lot more. And then once again, more to investors here. These guys. These guys. With that, we have 46 influence again. Very nice. So this would be a commute pier now. And I think we might be running out of materials now. There you go. That was a lot of upgrades. We'll just see if we can supply all of this with the juicy materials that we need for them. Now with that, have we unlocked something else? I don't think we have anything unlockable anymore. Regarding city development, we should really be using now that river here. So I'm gonna continue with another road over here, right? And then probably another one here to get us to the other side. This charcoal kiln we most likely don't need anymore. So what I would like to do here, expand my road network all the way up to this point. And then I would like to implement my Queen's Clock Tower here. So just at the edge of the highest point, you have this massive tower once again overlooking everything. And there's probably then going to be here a little place for this, right? Where we might also add a fountain of some sorts. Really nothing too big. And this road here leads then further to the palace area that we have then over here. So this is a bit of a greener area. I was thinking about adding some residents here, but I think it wouldn't make that much sense, right? You have then what artisans. Every higher tier doesn't make sense in this area. So I'm not going to push this. Instead, we're just going to have more housing than here. There's another thing that I would like to add, and that's down here in this spot. That's the bourse. This is actually something that you need to have for a massive empire like this. The cool thing about this, the bourse is that it also acts kind of like as a town hall. Actually make it so that it looks towards that main center, so you have now the bourse over here, plus on the other side you have the post office. Now if that isn't fitting together, I don't know what is. Let's have a smaller, like this looks also cute here, right? You have the exit here from the buildings, so to me it makes sense to continue here with the road, and then we just go ahead and have a nice enclosed greenery here to fill this void that we have, right? And speaking about the greenery, you can also have then one here, just around the variety theater. And behind the bourse, there's the exit, so this makes also sense to have something here of value. Let's just see, perhaps a bigger fountain area like this one fits, at least I think. And then another enclosed greenery, just to have this one. It looks a bit of a strange shape there here in the back of it, but that's how it goes. Now I just realized this was a mistake, might have been a mistake, because this building does not have access now. How can we solve this? Oh, whoa, can I not get rid of this anymore? It almost feels like, this feels like a bug. What is this? I cannot get rid of it now. Okay, let's get rid of that enclosed greenery. Perhaps I can touch it. Nah. Alright, strange. Let's move the bourse. I mean, the bourse, it will also make sense here, right? It would look pretty lovely, but then we cannot attach so many buildings to the items here. Let's have this one now connected. And let's move the bourse in again. And please let me add some monuments now, or ornaments here. Okay, now the street is part of the building. That's a really cool building, by the way. It's a modded version, of course, right? And kind of like engulfs every item that we attach here. Yeah, something like that would fit, right? Having this one here, and then perhaps some smaller tree or some smaller, yeah, these flower beds. No, yeah, let's add those little tiny bushes there. That looks a bit more like it, and with that we have it attached. Looks nice shape there. All right, the bourse cities, it has this shape around it, but we cannot add items, so I think it's just boosting something. I have no idea what this building is doing actually, because it has a radius. It is affecting the investors in some kind of way. Oh, I see. It's boosting their output. It's doubling their output. We have 150,000. Is that right? Yes, that's the bourse doing it. Holy cow, that's cheaty, right? This building is just plain cheating. It doubles the output of the investor building. Okay, I mean, I'm not complaining. We're end game here, so it doesn't really make a difference. Of course, this is way too cheaty. So this building really shouldn't exist. But there you go. We have it, and this one is generating some nice income now. All the way out here, let's build the Queen's Clock Tower. Now, this one has an effect. It once again affects the investors and the residences with the bong or clock effect, giving me 10% more workforce per building and reduces the pocket watch consumption. So once again, this would make a lot of sense in the city center, but I like the location here, so I'm just gonna go ahead with it, right? And not bother with anything else. And here, I don't know, let's have some garden, park area. A nice shape for it to add something. And with that, we have a nice new skyscraper, more or less right over there, overlooking the whole town. Now, I don't have a lot of monuments. I'm just gonna plop me in another bank right here. In the middle of well, the city more or less that we have, right? And also get me some more enclosed greeneries. There you go. And with that, we have a little area over here that also looks developed with not that much effort. As always, it's best to just watch this from below. I love this feature, and I love that we're gonna see it again pretty soon. And then right out here, once we have more timber again, we can also finish this district here as the farmers are then transitioning to the sheep farms, right? So out here, this makes sense to me, so that we don't have such a stark contrast between population and production. For this area, I really would just like make a temperate growth as a barrier towards the rail tracks and the industrial wall, right? The same applies for the other side. And I think we're also gonna need to upgrade all these roads. Yeah, it's not that many anymore. Okay, I'll continue with adding more districts, or, well, finishing them over here. Just those people here closer to my sheepies. And yeah, that's the perfect fragrance in the air for farmers. Now, in this case here... Oh, wait a second. I've totally missed the mark on that and on that. Otherwise, they're not producing. They've never produced before. But we're full on framework knitters on workload, right? So it's absolutely fine. And we can also continue upgrading our workers in this area. Not too far though down there, right? So this is the worker industry then. And I would like to keep some workers there again as a nice natural transition. Just have them here by the main road. And then that last building is going to be a worker again. Nice. Can do the same thing with the engineers that we have. So there's a bunch of them more. And once again, we're out of timber. One thing I'm pretty sure is new with the mod is the bulk freighter right over here, and this one I would like to build now, even though, yeah, what I can see is it's not really better than a cargo ship. The only real thing here is the open sea travel speed is higher with the bulk freighter, but only by 20%, right? And that's about it. So we'll just see how that turns out. Let's build one and get it on the trade routes. And there it is, one of those freighters that we have now in all its glory. It's actually a new skin. It is still, of course, a very similar skin to, for example, that we have right over here with Captain Tobias. And yeah, it's pretty similar to that, right? But still different enough to make it distinct. I like it. Now, I'm not going to use this one for what it actually is meant to be, for overworld travel, right? Overseas, open seas travel. That is on the world map. Nope, we're using it as a trade route for... you name it, timber, right? In this case here, we do have a nice juicy timber production up here in Oslev, right? And I would like to utilize this because we are running out of timber constantly. So this is where my new ship comes in. Yeah, and also it makes sense because, you know, it's such a small ship really. 3 cargo slots is just not enough to use it for anything else really other than, yeah, timber deliveries to my capital. With more timber rolling in, I can finally fulfill a promise that I've made a long time ago, and that is building a palace over here. We got the timber production of Sleepy Hollow right here at the moment, which is not ideal. We do have our lumberjacks over there, but we need the wood for the sewing machine production, right? I'm actually low on that, now that I just realized that. Theoretically, we cannot afford getting rid of the lumberjacks, honestly. But of course, we have this very special building here, my docklands. I'm not getting any logs in at the moment, so I would like to use one of my surplus productions, if we have any. Let's have a look at that. Well, cars is, for example, something that we have in a pretty big volume, and I'm expecting logs to be worth nothing. I mean, look at that. It's 1 to 103 tons. I think this is the highest ratio I've ever seen before. So if I want to get some logs in, I could say, yeah, get 5 tons of cars out to get the timber in. That is 500 tons of logs we would be getting in. We have a demand of 1,000 tons though per trade cycle. So even that is quite a bit. How many cars do we produce? Can we check this one out? That's the problem. It's not a lot, right? It's just 1 car per minute. And the surplus is 0.5 cars per minute. So you can still make this work. The maximum here would be 10 tons of cars that I can afford, right? To break even on my production consumption rate. But I'm not allowed to upgrade any more magnets for now. And this would bring me in 1,000 logs. Tobias is coming in 1 minute. So this is gonna work out. We also have the storage capacity and we're getting the trade route in. So I would like to finally get rid of this one here. It's been here for quite some time. I'm also gonna at least keep me 2 more sawmills in the region, right? So that we have some timber production of our own. But outside of that, also the charcoal kiln, that's a lot of pollution that we disrupt with that. And then we still have that clay pit here, and I'm also not going to use this here any longer. Now with that out of the way, let's get me my road over here, right? So this is then the general square that we have. There's really nothing else planned here than a palace. So yeah, if I would go far enough to get the scholars, we could research it and move it, but I'm not doing this yet. Or yeah, ever in this playthrough. Let's have a look at my palace that we have then over here. And of course we're gonna make it a blueprint version. Now there you go, a new palace in all its glory. I would like to use this palace here to also add some Asian decorations to this. And once again, we have, for example, the Great Dragon here. It doesn't really fit to the palace, let's be honest. But I would still like to have it together with the lion statue here. Oh, wait a second. You will need to be moved around. Where does it look? Now there you go. Just because, of course, we're playing the New Horizons mod, why not? Let's also build this at the Grand Palace there. This is gonna take some time, I think, because we have so many levels here, so many areas. Oh, wait a second. I mean, it's expensive, but price is not the issue. Building materials will be for sure. So now we can build it. Oh, nice. At least the inner courtyard has been finished, and I think... yeah, we're done. Very good. It was actually possible. Pleasant Metropolis we've reached with that because, of course, the palace gives us a huge attraction bonus that we can have in the area, right? And then we also have some trees there in front of it. What else do we have? We got the fried... we got this one here. Something has been fried. A friend indeed. And 3 million gears. A pagoda with a bronze bell on it. That is probably the best we can do here. And in the center of it, we do have then the Garden of Serenity. I would like to get this in, honestly. And yeah, then we can build the whole mess. And let's just see how it goes when it's finished. Also get these lovely trees that actually have the same paving as the palace paving. So that's as it should be, right? That's how it goes. And with that, we have a little Asian-inspired palace in Sleepy Hollow with that. Of course, with every palace also comes some nice bonuses that we can have, like the bonus here that the reduced need for food. And let's just see how far it goes. Yeah, it's not the whole city, but at least it's something for every town hall that we have, or every town hall in its vicinity, of course. These are department facts, though. So every industrial building around a trade union gets a flat 10% productivity bonus right away. So this is pretty nifty. And this one here was the town hall, right? And yeah, I don't think we can see it. No, it doesn't look like it. This one here probably does not affect it, right? We should be able to see it then here, but it's not there, unfortunately. So the board does not work for this. Nor does the Queen's Clock Tower. Capital news, also there it is. Palace has been unlocked. Also in Horizon, we do have, once again, the Street Lamp Festival in all its glory. I love how it looks. The whole atmosphere of the city. The music is questionable, though. I think this is a nice conclusion to this smaller series exploring the New Horizons mod, as we've now explored almost all the features. Unfortunately, I was not able to trigger the foreign attacks. If I do, perhaps in a future update, I will definitely also, of course, cover this one here. That is my magnet town that we have. And then, of course, we also have our Guangzhou, our capital in Horai. And I hope you enjoyed this smaller series. It's also a bit of an abrupt ending. That's because there's a long distance now between the episodes, and I want to really wrap it up to focus on other games. And we will definitely come back with this mod, though, as I think it is now a base mod that I would always like to have for my playthroughs. So if we have another Mega City Edition playthrough, for example, we will definitely explore this mod again with all the updates that are coming then, and also all the experience we have with it now to create even bigger cities. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a fantastic day. Onwards to the next Let's Play. Stay tuned.
wish I could play the trombone like that.